Um, when you can, you know, when you're inspired to move to another country, and okay, I got to set the guidelines. This is a zero political zone. Okay, we do not talk politics on this chat at all. Okay, just I'm putting it out there. Because I know my mom has some other factors tied up into the current state of affairs of the U.S., which I appreciate. But at the end of the day, like a lot of people are like, going in. I met this family in um, when I was in Bali. I met this guy and a girl, and he said that his life they live in um, the Ukraine, like just a few miles from the Russian border, and their town is just being bombed constantly. And I'm like, why won't they leave? And she's like, you know what? My mom doesn't want to leave. That's where she lives. That's her family home. She's been there her whole life and doesn't want to leave. And so she literally lives there in a war zone day in and day out. I mean, that's an interesting dynamic. And I feel like this is kind of opening up the portal to the topic of today's call, which is about, being stuck. And really, there's a lot of ways that you can be stuck. You can be stuck physically, you can be stuck emotionally, you can be stuck energetically, and you could just be stuck in your health. Like, I mean, Phil has been sick for like over a month or 2 months or whatever. And, sometimes you're in that quicksand, you're trying to get out, and the more you try to pull yourself, the more you get pulled in. And sometimes you just need to meditate and actually not move to get out. And there's a lot of different aspects here, and I think a lot of it just comes down to motivation. I'm going to tell you personally, this is a personal Dr. Schwartz story. I when I get overwhelmed, I tend to do nothing. Like, that's my default. I don't know what to do, so I do nothing.
Yeah, that's a lot of what I did during this time too, because like I told you on a personal note, I literally was so out of my mind. And I got to throw props out to Jenny Reimer. I see her on the call today. We met her at A4M, and she has a place up in Minnesota, right, Jenny?
Michigan.
Michigan. And she was so kind to me and my wife that she hooked us up with a lot of good stuff. And that definitely helped heal me and get me in the right space. So I do get lazy and tired, like you said, Stephen, and unmotivated, but at least at the same time, I do try to fix myself. I'm there. I'm a lot better than I was.
Listen, this is a life journey.
Yeah,
You
you
know what?
learn. You learn. I'm in the moment. This moment is the best one. I'm not worried about what happened yesterday. You know what I mean?
Great. Well, thank you, Jenny. So how close are you?
Go ahead.
How close are you to Detroit?
I'm just 40 minutes from Ann Arbor and an hour from Detroit.
Did you get a message from Emily Infinity?
Maybe, but I'm still working full time. I'm a naturopathic doctor. This is my 43rd year of practice. And so my main thing that I do is energy medicine, and I have all different types of devices from all over the world in there. And I just added V.I.B.E. I didn't take it to my office yet. I've been keeping it at home, experimenting with it, because once I take a device to my office, I rarely get on it because everybody else is on it.
We'll just gotta send you another V.I.B.E. Okay, so this happens all the time, by the way. We meet all these doctors that are like, oh, I want to buy it for my clinic. Let me just bring it home first. And it never makes it into their clinic. And so just buy another one. And I think that's a really good, listen, at the end of the day, you're going to use it for your patients, but there's no better recalibrator as a practitioner than the V.I.B.E. I mean, after a day of seeing patients, just listen to energy clearing. I mean, give me a break, like these are, or whatever's going on. I can tell you when I was in clinical practice, I wish I mean, I remember the first day that I got a vibrational sound bed. I bought a sound bed from, I wanted, every week I do a customer, what's the word? A customer profile. And I would love to, spotlight, a customer spotlight. I would love to spotlight you, Jenny, this week. I'd love to have you tell us about your practice and all these things. But I want to share this quick little story before I spotlight you and your journey. You know, the history with the Vibe was I had to download to make this vibrational sound bed in 2009 after producing 2 albums from 2007 and 2009. And I didn't know they even existed. And then we were testing my music scientifically. We were doing GDV testing, gas discharge visualization testing with it. And this woman I was testing introduced me to this guy, Ed Bender, who turned out to be my first mentor, who was making vibroacoustic sound beds, which was a word that I never had heard of before. And you know, it's like one of those obvious words, but you're just like Googling, what can I Google? What can I check in? I mean, this was 2012, so Google wasn't really what it was today, but I never thought of combining vibroacoustic. I never thought to put those 2 words together. And I was like, of course, that's a great terms. And it opened up this really in-depth body of research that he sent me. And I bought a sound bed from him, and I remember how excited I was. And everybody in my clinic, they all knew I had this thing for these vibrational sound beds. And I set it up and I played energy clearing through it. And I was tripping. Like I was having I had a psychedelic experience. Everybody in my clinic did. That first time that we vibrated this music into our connective tissue, and that was in 2012. So I feel that we can be in a place of utilizing this technology and using it not just for our clients, but really for ourselves. And it works to open up our channels, cleaning our channels, receiving downloads, connecting ourselves to source, all the different things. So it's like, you know, like when all the witches are kind of around the cauldron and they're like looking into the cauldron and it's giving them all the messages. That's the vibe. You lay on the vibe, and next thing you know, you start getting downloads. Hey, I wonder about this patient. What about that patient?
But they're white witches. They're white witches. I got to stress that.
Either way, whatever.
They're the good witches. I can't handle the dark witches. It's got to be the good white energy.
You know, energy is energy, and how we put out or how we choose to use it is up to us. And people say that to me all the time about this music. Well, you could really hurt somebody with this. You're right. This technology could definitely be used for other levels of manipulation of our biochemistry, for sure. Because the arrows work in both directions. I mean, I just don't really. I mean, just to let you know, I've never even really. I mean, I know it's possible. I've never really considered doing anything like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't come across that way, so I doubt any of that exists within the vibe whatsoever.
I'm just saying. And when I refer to witches, I mean, they always referred to them, you know, back in the day with, you know, burning the women. These were the free thinkers. We don't want any free thinkers in our community. You're a witch.
True.
You're practicing witchcraft. No, you're actually.
That's true. And I got to mention something on that note, if I may, because you know me, ever since I've talked to you, Stephen, I'm a big research guy, and I've told you that. And I told you, you know, we've talked about Mercola, and I know you respect him as well. And I get that in my email every day. And I think this is something the community needs to hear, because this blew me away, Stephen. This is some excellent information. And Mercola was saying that Google, because of, and I'm just going to say it, I'm sorry if it sounds like a conspiracy theory, but I believe it, the world control of media and what we see is happening in this world. And Mercola said something really that blew my mind. He said that Google has 85 to 90% of the world share of a search engine. So it doesn't matter what your browser is, if you're Yahoo or whoever, when you do a search, chances are Google are going to give you the information.
Exactly.
Google has blocked Mercola and a lot of other people. What you do, you may find it, but it may take a while. So what blew me away is I had somebody ask me about vibroacoustic therapy, and I looked it up on Google, and so much of the results popped up were inconclusive. So what Mercola said is to literally go to your browser and type in bing.com and then put in vibroacoustic therapy. You know what blew me away, Stephen? Is the clinical, medical, US government medical websites, doctors, nurses that have been doing vibroacoustic therapy research for years. This is all over the place in studies. And again, if you want, as a center, to show this to your clients and you tell them go to Google, they ain't going to find hardly anything. But you go to bing.com, and dude, I printed out all kinds of reports and research that back this scientific.
So I have all that stuff. That's what Ed Bender gave me back in 2012. And when I read it, I started crying.
I know.
What I would recommend is what I'm wanting to do, what I invite you to do is, so we're going through a little bit of a metamorphosis here at Bioharmonic Technologies. And let's just break down. I'm really into the etymology, okay? I love that. I've really gotten into etymology, Mom, like the origin of words. I think it's really interesting. And when we look at like metamorphosis, we look at like the chrysalis, right? Where you have the caterpillar turning into the butterfly. Dude, they liquefy. It liquefies into this winged creature. It's got to be painful.
Mm-hmm.
But once it comes out, you turn into this beautiful butterfly. Bioharmonic Technologies is going through, is in a chrysalis right now. And we're going through some changes. And really what we're seeing is this industry is growing up. I'm sure you guys all see all kinds of Instagram ads for all kinds of other vibrational sound bed technologies. And everybody's asking us, why are you different? Why are you different? Why are you different? And it's been we're in our world headquarters, really asking ourselves, how are we going to go forward? And what I love about the universe that's put me on this path is I've been doing this for a long, long time, and it's not even really about a vibrating bed. It's about the effects of vibroacoustics, of vibration and sound on human physiology. Nobody's putting out that content, and it's not new, it's old. And I've been kind of hoarding it, honestly, if I could be honest with you, for this whole time since Ed gave it to me. A lot of the music that I created was from information that I found through that research.
Mm-hmm.
So that's because I was like, let's just make music with all that vibroacoustic research. So we're going to be making more, and I really want to make it more available, and I really want to share it. And so I'd recommend, Phil, if you want to either share it directly with me or maybe put it, in the group or whatever you want to do, whatever you feel comfortable with. And I know on my computer, I have them hard drived in a folder that I've been keeping. I actually found them. It's all Ed Bender stuff. I found some old emails from Ed Bender, my first mentor. Really talk about time capsule. So,
So Stephen, if I may,
yes.
I have had the bed now for maybe 3 weeks, and I have an alternative health clinic in Valparaiso. And this place really needs this kind of work.
Where's
Indiana? Indiana. Yeah. In the heart of, a lot of crap. So, and I decided to buy a clinic.
Where did you meet us and buy your technology?
I was next to you in the booth in Vegas.
Vegas.
Disclosure Fest. Yeah.
I was hanging out with your other constituents this past weekend at the Conscious Life Expo.
Who
I
was
think
there?
some of the people were there that you were with in the booth, in your booth.
I don't think so.
They came up to me and like, oh, remember? There's a lot of people from.
I don't know, because the two people that came with me, I know they weren't. I don't think they were there, but we had a lot of people that came up, and it could be someone that was came up to our booth.
I'm sorry.
So no, that's okay. So I've been getting downloads that our bodies are meant to heal with sound. And I've been sharing this with my clients. And it's so funny because you're talking about all of this change and movement and going through this chrysalis. And I personally, and that my business has been doing this. Like, I thought I was going to have to shut it down for the last couple months. And I've been struggling for over a year. I bought an existing business and it's going through a transition. But I have shared on my webpage, which I'm trying to get more out there, and I'm working with a business consulting firm, and I've got a lot of people who are helping me with this. But I put out your videos from your site to explain the science, because we have some people that are more kind of medical based, but not getting healed in that way. So we treat Lyme disease, we treat some real serious things. We do IVs, we do Reiki, we do sound healing, we do acupuncture, so we have a chiropractic, craniosacral, we have a wide range. Rife technology, I got a true Rife machine. So I have all of this, and I've incorporated the VIBET, and I've been advertising it and suggesting it to people, and I'm excited about it. So I'm getting them on it. I've been on it, but I put it in my clinic first because I already knew if I put it in my home, it wasn't going to make it there. And I bought it personally. I didn't have the business buy it because I wasn't in position for that. So I have been structuring it and helping put some people on it who are fighting some serious things like Lyme disease, cancer, these kind of things. And I'm getting a decent response from it. And I also explain, like when I do my sound healing stuff too, that, it's not, you're not going to get off of it and go, oh, I feel great. There's a process, right? Because it's bringing up some stuff. You have to process some stuff. So I'm getting people that are getting like slight headaches, dizziness afterwards. And I'm like, okay, that's good. We're shaking stuff up, right? So I have to explain.
They're dehydrated.
Huh?
They're dehydrated.
Okay, that's good to know.
Hydrate, vibrate, gyrate, and you become more. You need to hyper hydrate.
Okay, before
and after.
And after. So after, I do explain after, like with any sound healing, you're going to detox. So you really need to take care of yourself and drink a lot of water and things like that. But I wasn't thinking about before, so that's good. That's good to know. So I can.
Well, most people are just dehydrated.
I agree. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so I'm just trying to get the information out there for people to feel more comfortable with this kind of treatment, right? Because we are kind of in a transitional. And my main focus in my clinic, while it's a transition from medical healing, I'm wanting to get to the undertone of that with the emotional healing for the mind, body, and spirit. And some people aren't comfortable on the spirit level. So we're kind of building a bridge, from getting them from physical into the emotional healing, and then getting to the spiritual side of that.
I think that's great. We're having, okay, so two things. I just posted this video. I want you guys to download this, take this, and put it on your phone. I just did a talk at the Conscious Life Expo this past Saturday on clearing cellular memory. It's a really good talk. Okay. As much as there's a lot of vibroacoustic research out there, I'm really committing to putting out a lot of more my research out there, a lot of my talks, a lot of my information. We're going to be seeing a lot more of this information. We want to provide you with a lot more of this content. Okay. And I would like to commend you, Lori, for being in a place of, you're not in the highest flow.
Nope.
But knowing that this technology, investing money into something that you felt aligned with, it can bridge to a next level. And I really invite each and every one of you, the lack abundance game is such an interesting energy,
Right.
you know, because we've all been there. And even, I don't know, I mean, even if you have even if you're a billionaire, I'm sure there's some moment where you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to spend all that money. You know, we all we all have, you know, we all go through that moment, right?
True.
And are you really feeling it? Jenny, I wanted to share with you, Emily Infinity. I'm going to get her connected with you. So are you in our owners chat?
I'm not doing any chats. This is the first time I've looked at this. I bought my Vibe at the A4M convention, and this is the first time I've tuned in because I every single time I've been invited to do something, I was already scheduled to do something else. So today I took the day off so that I could tune into some things. And anyway, I'm usually working.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for that. I'm gonna we have a hard finish in 20 minutes, so I want to actually make sure that when you get off this call, that you say, I'm so glad that I gave this hour to yourself, that like you'll come back and be on these calls and you're going to get value of it. But I wanted to share with you with Emily Infinity. I met her also at the 11/11 Stargate activation portal in Las Vegas. There was a ton of people. It was amazing. That was a portal by the truest definition.
Yeah,
and then we went to the Conscious Life Expo, and it was like a reunion of all those people. But I met this woman, Emily Infinity, who's an amazing musician, incredible, angelic musician. I met her at a bar at like 2 a.m. We were all hanging out there. But it's Vegas, you know, we're all there. But you know what? We stayed in touch, and she ended up like, you know, jumping into our team. And she'd never been on the V.I.B.E. before. The first day we put her on the V.I.B.E., no, like she stayed in our suite. We had a suite. She was part of our crew. We set up the V.I.B.E. She got on the V.I.B.E. in our room. And she's there's one of those dimensional realities where you see them in another dimension and they don't see themselves. You know what she does for a living? She's a server in a restaurant. And if you ever hear her sing, you just want to shake her and be like, can you please not be a server in a restaurant? So like, you know, but that's how she makes her money. That's where she feels secure. That's her little secure chrysalis that she's in. And anyhow, she got on the V.I.B.E. one time, and she was a different woman, like a completely different woman. And she's like, this has changed my life.
Awesome.
And she's like, I want to buy one of these. And she spent the whole weekend, you know, at this event, and she was leaving. I mean, like, obviously we were hanging out the whole weekend, but she pulled me aside and was like, I want to buy a V.I.B.E. and I really see the plan. And so I've had multiple, and she's like, I can sell these. I can bring them to these events. She's like, she's a native of Detroit. And anyhow, she told me she found some other people in Michigan. I didn't know you were there, Jenny. And I think it'd be good. She actually didn't buy. She's waiting for her debit card or something come in. She's going to do some financing options with it. But this technology is inspiring her, and I'm inspired by her. She's inspiring me that this technology can change her. This is what it takes to snap her out of it.
Yep.
And, you know, so you were in there like, how's this changing people's lives? Jenny, if you're a naturopathic doctor and you have all those machines that you talk about, I had the same clinic, and you're like, oh, you know, they always want to hear, oh, I reversed cancer, or like, oh, I had like rheumatoid arthritis that's gone, or irritable bowel syndrome, or like, you know, they want to hear all these conditions that are better. But what about just like the intangibles? You know, some of the more subtle things that they got on the V.I.B.E. and now they're self-empowered in a whole different way. You know, I think it might not be as quote unquote sexy, but I think it might be more compelling to me as of a healing. And so, oh, that's just what I want to say. I'd love to actually, so thank you, Lori, for listening to your soul message and taking action. And are you happy with your purchase?
I am. Yeah. I mean, it's funny you were talking about your mom. My mom's been helping me out at the business a little bit, working too. And so I've got her on a regimen for the bed, and the experiences people are having on it, I think it's going to be very beneficial also to help open up people. So I'm using it in a medical way for their conditions, but I'm seeing that it's kind of opening them up emotionally and spiritually too. So that, I mean, there's just the people that are aligning right now with the business, and it's small, right? But it's not people that I would expect to be having spiritual conversations with about energy healing, which is where my passion is, because it healed me. It's my own healing journey that I share. And so I'm just seeing people opening up and being more like they need it, but they're now understanding that they need it, and they're really starting to kind of have those conversations, you know, like when I just speak matter of factly that we are meant to heal with sound and light, and I get people go, yeah, like they're agreeing, and it's like they already know it, but I don't think they've had that conversation before, you know. So I really like and that's really my passion and my goal, is to get them to open up so that they can heal themselves, right? So that's, you know, that's my whole reasoning for doing this, and my spiritual path and my path on this earth is all to help people heal. And I've always known that, but I was always so closed off because of my own trauma and the life I was living. And so anyway, I know from experience my journey and what opened me up, and I want to share that, and I want to encourage people to do that. But you have to empower them to heal themselves, right? You can't, we're so used to, hey, just give me a pill so I can feel better, or come in and say, how are you going to fix me? And don't want any part of it. They just want you to tell them what to do. And I've seen that, and it doesn't work. We've got people who've been coming to the clinic for probably 3 years, getting Nate and all these other things, and they seem to be more hypersensitive to everything else because that's all they're focused on. And I'm like, no, you're not healing, but it's because you're not taking on the responsibility to do it yourself. You're wanting someone else to do it for you. So a lot of my journey is to empower and educate and get people involved in their own healing. And that's the first thing I do when I sit down with someone and I'm doing a Reiki session. I'm like, I'm not doing the healing. You're doing the healing, and your body is. We're creating that space for this to happen. And so I immediately put them in charge, because I know from my own experience, that's the only way it's going to happen anyway. So
you guys in like the Midwest and some of these like random locations, you're holding it down. I'm in California where it's actually really annoying in California. To just let you know, the opposite side of the spectrum, it's really annoying because everybody knows out here. Oh, I know all about sound. Oh, I know all about Reiki. Everybody's an expert in California. You can't tell anybody anything. Everybody knows everything. So, trust me, you're probably in a better place where people don't know, because you're going to have a completely, their nervous system, is not calibrated to it. So they'll have a bigger, profound experience, I think, in my personal opinion, with that. So I wanted to share this with you today. I'm going to post this here. Meet people where they're at. And trust me, I'm the voodoo weirdo doctor in Colorado for many, many years. And I kind of came to a point where I'm like, F it, whatever. I'm just going to go and be me. But I also established a reputation around that, which I was totally fine with. But at the other end of it, I literally had people sitting in my clinic, and I'm sure, Jenny, I'm sure you're gonna resonate with this. Was before I used to use little energy vials, you know, and I knew that I could help them. And even if I was trying to like be like cool about it and not be so like esoteric about it, I still needed to put a vial in their energy field and still needed to do it. And I'm having some flashbacks of some patients that would literally be like, they just couldn't get on board with it. You know, I could explain it to them, but it's in their mind, they just couldn't get there with it. Okay. So then I said to myself, well, what if we had like a computer? And next thing you know, I developed a computer. Maybe then everybody would get it. So then I had this computer. And then I'm having some flashbacks of some patients as well. And like, they just couldn't get around the computer, you know? So even though you knew you could really help them, and, you know, we were getting help even without people, and then they just didn't really want to participate because they just couldn't go in for the modality, even though you did the education. So all you can really do, and then in most recent times, I was in Bali. I was in a spa. I was in a spa in Bali, and I play the didgeridoo. And there's a guy in there playing a didgeridoo in this sauna, and we started talking, and really interesting, because we both play the didge and and I thought we had that like little kindred spirit didgeridoo thing going. And I started talking with him, and he said that he had like Lyme disease, and I was like, oh, you know, I have this technology that could help you. And he attacked me. He completely was like instead of like, oh, cool, like, thank you, no, he's like, oh, like, how, like he was so shut off to the experience. He got really aggressive with me, actually. And
so he was identifying with his illness, and I
basically said, you know, like, you know what, you're in a much better place being sick than you will be healthy.
Yep.
So, you know, all you can do is hold space for everybody. I really would like to open up this floor to Jenny. Welcome to our vibrational. I just want to give you a little framework on our Thursdays. Every Thursday is different. Sometimes we get into some heavy clinical stuff. Sometimes we just open it up for questions. I do go in with an idea of where I'm wanting to go with the session, and then usually Phil jumps in and derails the whole thing. And I'm just joking with you. And you know, and other things like that. But we kind of roll with it, and just know that this is not. I always wanted to give clinical pearls. I want to give some good value. And I also want to tailor these calls to like people like yourself that are super busy, that work all the time. If you're going to take an hour out of your day, I want you to get off me like, wow, like this is something I want to put in my schedule. So I would love to open the floor and have you either introduce yourself, share a little bit about it. And also, if you're going to put this on your schedule, what are some things that you would really love to get out of a weekly call in this space?
Okay, so I have a lot of different things I'm putting together. And the people who come to me, most of the people that have been coming a long time, I do have new patients every week, but a lot of people get well, and then I don't see them until they have a health disaster again. So that's good. We want them to get well. I was wanting to ask a couple questions. One was, possible for me to have your phone number, Laurie?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Okay. I can give it to you right now.
I'll write it down.
Maybe put in a chat. Are you in the owner's chat?
No, I'm not.
Neither of you guys are.
No, okay, I don't think so.
I'm putting the owner's chat link in this chat. Just click on it and join our WhatsApp owner's chat. Okay, that's kind of the central hub. People are always posting stuff. It's just kind of an open formers of owners.
Mm-hmm. I have something that I get. I'm getting text messages every single day from people who are talking to each other, and that probably is the owner's chat.
That is the owner's chat. It's the VIBETRIBE community.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still gonna add this in if anybody needs.
Okay.
What other questions you have?
machine running because I was just couldn't get everything set just right. But Phil actually is the one that helped me the most with it. So thanks, Phil.
You're very welcome, Jenny.
It's running perfectly smooth now. I had it for a month and couldn't even get it to work.
Good. So I'm glad. So after our last call, you got all the little bugs worked out?
What you told me to do, and it works fine every time now. But I was really disappointed because I couldn't get it to work.
Well, it was, as we found out, it was a few different things. It was the, your Wi-Fi. It was, making sure the volume was all the way up on the tablet. Just little things. And once you got them all figured out, that's good to hear. It's flying like a dream, like it should.
Yeah, I need some technical help with the vibro file, but I've got it working, just running the tracks how I need to, but then they keep repeating, and I'm trying to make playlists for certain things. But yeah, I haven't been able to get into the VibraFile app. I tried setting it up, and it had me blocked out for some reason, and so I need.
So when you're going to go ahead, so we're working on releasing a 2.0 VibraFile app. To be honest with you, they're kind of waiting on us to debug it. It's just another project that we're working on. But really, where you are right now is you should be able to go in and once you create a profile, just reach out to our community and just say, could somebody activate my account? And then we
on
need
the
to go
website.
We need to go in. Yeah, just go into like support. Just open up like a support ticket and just say, can somebody activate my VibraFile? You have to create your own profile, your name, and all that stuff.
I did.
Okay, so then just send us a message. It's normally the job of our VA, but we are without a VA right now, so a lot of the VA stuff.
Okay, that's why. Because I did do it in the support, but yeah,
right, so
I'll try it again. I'll try it again. I've been making it work. I've been making it work, so
but we can help you with that.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so Jenny, what were your questions?
Well, I wanted to have Lori's phone number, and she was going to give it to me.
Yep, I'll give you the business number is 219-510-5623. I'll also give you my cell number because we're not open on Thursdays right now, and Tuesdays like half day, depending on scheduling. It's 219-730-6150.
I love practitioner schedules. Close on Thursdays, half day Tuesday. I mean, I had the same thing. I remember and she was like, "What are hours?" I'm like, "That's a good question." I was like, "Half day Friday, and we're closed on Mondays." Like,
well, I have like 6 different practitioners, and some of them work 2 days, some of them work 2 half days, some of them work 1 day in the middle, so it's all over the place.
Jenny, do you have any other questions? Do you have any specific other questions that we can answer for you?
Really, what I want to do is I do want to come to the office and introduce it. The idea was to use it with the people that were doing emotional balancing, chakra clearing, and that was what I wanted to start with it. But I do have a lot of people who come in that use what's called a Sequex, which is an Italian device. And anyhow, there's a lot of people that come in with chronic conditions. And I do have a lot of people that come here from the Fort Wayne area. Around Fort Wayne, I have a lot of Amish patients.
Okay. Oh, Amish, dude, the Amish love this technology. We have a lot of, they super resonate. I can't tell you how many people, we have a bunch of little pockets of practitioners that work with the Amish. And so this is really good because it's natural.
Right.
Yeah. And they really, for whatever reason, the Amish really vibe. The Amish vibe with the vibe.
Yeah. So Jenny, real quick, what I started doing that I'm noticing a bigger response is I work with a 13 chakra system. I got certified with 13 chakra system. But what I started doing is doing a chakra clearing before the VIBE treatment. Okay. And it helps open them up before, instead of even when I do my Reiki, I do the chakra clearing first, because then the energy gets deeper and it's not working on opening right? It's then it can just work on clearing and getting in there. So so just a suggestion. I don't know if that's something. And it's like an add-on service that I just add on, and I make it reasonable enough because it takes like 10-15 minutes. And I also use tuning forks sometimes to open them up if they're stuck really good. So yeah, so just a little suggestion for you. It might help.
Hold on a second.
You're
I think my mom's trying to ask a question. That's really good. Can you unmute yourself, Mom? Do you know how to unmute yourself?
Can you control her mute?
Hold on.
Did you mute her earlier?
I did. Yeah, I'm gonna ask all to. I think you guys have to enable.
I'm gonna have to leave soon too. I apologize, but I got a meeting.
Who said that?
I'm just really glad to see more Midwest gals on here. Yay!
Right?
Who said they need to leave in a few minutes?
Me, Lori.
Okay. So, do you have any other questions, Jenny?
The other question I had that Phil was talking about is, I also tried to do a search on vibroacoustic therapy, and I wasn't coming up with much of anything. So how did you use Bing.com, Phil?
All you have to do is literally go to your normal search engine, whatever pops up, and you simply type in Bing.com, just like you would say you were going to the Bioharmonics website. Just type in your browser Bing.com, let that open up, and then type in vibroacoustic therapy in that search bar for Bing.com. And yeah, and it just blew me away, because I'm not kidding you. I had somebody asking me about the V.I.B.E, and I was standing right there with them. And so I was like, I'd seen this before, and I pulled it up, and I went, wow, how come I'm showing everything inconclusive? And then again, when I got that article from Mercola, that's what he said you have to do is whatever browser that you personally have, type in Bing.com, let that open up, and then go to Bing.com search bar and put in vibroacoustic therapy, and you'll be blown away at how much research is out there. It's insane. I was like, what? Night and day. And I think that's a good point to bring up too about everything.
Okay, we don't have a lot more time, and I actually have a hard stop myself. I would like to say with the vibroacoustic work, we did this was my other company. We did a research share with the Air Force Hospital. We submitted research to Air Force Hospital with my other company, and they reviewed it, and they said that this was some of the best research that they ever saw.
Cool.
And we actually have some opportunities. Bioharmonic Technologies is in conversations. We have some opportunities with the VA. I met some people here since being in Beverly Hills. With the VA, I'm in talks with some decision makers that can get this into the VA, which would be really awesome. So there's some things that are coming down the pike, and really what I'm seeing is anybody can lay on a vibrating bed and play some frequency music and help people relax. But if this is going to be a legitimate, so I was on a call right before I got on this call. I was on another call, and I said, low hanging fruit. And who was it? Jocelyn? You said some people were it's kind of a tough sell on the V.I.B.E. It doesn't matter if you're in Ohio, if you're in California, Florida, New Jersey, it doesn't matter. Everybody's stressed out.
Amen.
Go lay on the relaxation bed. Okay. Just keep it at that. Hey,
past it, but I was just saying, when we first started, it was a little bit tough, but now we've learned new verbs and new words, and we're breaking ground, and we're working with a lot of veterans too. So yeah,
perfect.
Super on it.
I really want you guys to get testimonials. When they're coming off, just get there on your phone and send them and post them in the owner's chat. Let's get this content out. We have access to create all kinds of information that I'd really love to get out there. But I was going to say, I was talking on the other meeting that I was on before, right before I got on this call, I was telling them, low-hanging fruit it's the relaxation bed. Meditation made easy. These are easy conversations. But I told them, I said, if I really wanted to be the visionary that I really wanted to be, if I really wanted to champion this technology the way that it's really supposed to be put out, and the reason I developed it in the first place, it would be having the conversation about clearing cellular memory.
Yeah.
Because this technology clears cellular memory. That was the download I had in 2004. If you watch that video, I want you guys to, before we end the Zoom, please copy and paste that video from Conscious Life Expo in your notes, or put it someplace that you can watch it. But I talk about my first journey that I had in 2004 about cellular memory and how it really has led to this technology. And then people talk about, like, what would they charge? Are you leaving?
Yes.
Jenny, great to meet you. Do me a favor, post your information in the owner's chat, because I want to share it with Emily, because she's looking for somebody with a vibe in the area for only 45 minutes outside of Detroit. I'm sure you guys would connect.
She's an hour from me, but I think I might have her I think I might have seen Emily's name in the chat.
She's not in the chat. She's not an owner yet. She wants to buy a Vibe.
Please check.
The owner's chat.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, my chat says VIBETRIBE World.
Yeah. Oh, Vibe. No, not that one.
That's I'm in.
Click in this chat right here, in this Zoom chat. I posted the link right here. It says to everybody, it just says chat WhatsApp. Click on that right now.
On chat WhatsApp?
Just in this, I posted it it's in the chat. It's in the Zoom chat.
Sorry, I grabbed my phone instead of looking at my computer. Okay. All right. So where's
You have
it at?
WhatsApp on your computer?
I just was looking at the chat on the computer, and then I was confusing WhatsApp chat with what the computer's doing.
If I were you, I would copy that and put it on your phone, and then just join it through your phone.
Okay.
Is that hard for you to do?
Is it I'm looking for your message. I
If you scroll all the way to the bottom, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I made 2 posts. It's my second from the bottom. It's got my picture. It says chat whatsapp.com. It says Vibe Tribe Community just above it. It's just above the Vibe.
Okay, so chat whatsapp.com, Dr. Enter. That one?
Yep, just click it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're already in that, aren't you, Jenny? On the owner's chat on
Phil,
Vibe
can you send it to her?
I think she's already in it.
All right, we'll have to check.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's already in the Vibe Tribe chat.
That's what it says, Vibe Tribe World. What is the chat that's on my phone? I mean, I just get messages constantly from this.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, the Vibe Tribe Community is what you're talking about, Stephen, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think she's already in there.
Yeah, I'm sure I am. Because they just send me messages daily. Like the other couple mornings ago at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, my phone starts dinging. It was somebody sending a message on this.
Yeah, you're on here. I just looked it up. You're in here already.
Okay, cool.
Good. All right.
Okay, so just tying this all up, this is about cellular memory, guys. You have the vibe. Whatever we want to sugarcoat it or say whatever you want to do, I'm really committed. Watch that video that I did through, and I'm going to make some more videos talking about my book. Also on your tablet is my book. It's a digital copy of my book. Read that book. Talks all about cellular memory.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, this is about that. And the point I'm wanting to make is if somebody can come in and clear shock and trauma out of your body, what's that session worth?
Yeah.
Is that a
Priceless.
$50 exactly. So we can charge whatever we want to charge. It depends on the narrative. Relaxation, it's a throw-in. Relaxation, $50. Advanced treatment for clearing cellular memory at the cellular level, $500.
Wow.
I mean, why not?
Okay, so I do have a
And
question.
then boom, here's all the vibroacoustic research that supports it.
Okay,
And
so
I'm going to leave you with a little teaser, guys, for what's to come. We're working with another diagnostic called the BioWell. The BioWell. And it measures bioenergetic work, bioenergetic field. It's very accurate. There's over 1,400 practitioners around the world. We're going to be doing closer research studies with them, authenticating what we're doing. That's happening this year, like now. So, but listen, I need to pop off this call. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for another successful Thursday. I get excited being able to share with you. We're always open to comments and feedback and direction. If you have something next week that you're like, hey, Dr. Schwartz, you can talk about this, put it in the owner's chat. And thanks for vibing with me. And I'll talk to you soon, mi madre.
Okay.
Oh, and you unmuted yourself. Do you have anything you want to share real quick?
I can't remember how to get it put back on again. You can't hear me, can you?
I can hear you.
Can?
Yeah, we
Okay.
can hear you now.
It keeps telling me I have to go from mute to unmute. I don't know what that means, so I don't know. But I
You
have
did it.
something. I have something I will discuss with you after you're off. Very serious, and I was hoping that these wonderful people who are doing so well, if I had mentioned what it was, maybe you guys could help me, because it's one of the last, really the last thing that I cannot get out of my body and my mind. And I thought maybe if one of you guys, I could call you up and they could teach me, because somehow I am missing something. So it would be great if I could tell you. Okay, Steve?
You want to share with the group right now? We're here right now.
Oh, yeah, but it's late. Is
Go
it?
for it.
Okay.
Keep it, all it does is keep it, you know, keep it on point. Keep it short.
I will do the best I can, but I think it's something that not only do they have to know, but you have to know. And I'm getting really, I don't know what to do anymore about it. When COVID came along, I lost my ability to speak, and I got it back, but it has been over the years that since then that my body continues, my brain continued to stop my ability to remember what I'm talking about, what I need to talk about. And the funny thing is, and this is the thing that maybe you guys could know about, I belong to a gym, and when I go to that gym, it is like the most best thing that ever happens to me. Nobody even knows that I can't talk, and everybody loves me because I'm so good at it. But I get home, and I just lose the whole thing. And I've gone to I went to basically to a doctor, which I never do. I mean, I like you guys, just like you. I go to there, but I had to go this time because I got so disgusted with the fact that I could not continue to get better. Now, anybody who can help me with that, including Dr. Schwartz, who I know could help me, because my husband doesn't really help me with it. He tries, he loves me and all that, but he really cannot understand it.
So my mother, she's experiencing some early stages of
Yes,
mental cognitive degeneration.
that's right.
And obviously I've noticed it. I actually feel like I have some of the same things going on.
Oh no.
And there's some processes. I think a lot of it has to do with toxicity. And I actually think a lot, what I know about my mom, she's always been having a lot of deals with her teeth. And I actually think there's a big connection between all the dental work you've had done in the past and what's happening with your cognitive function. And I actually think I still have stuff in my mouth that I'm desperately wanting to get removed.
Yeah, I actually believe that. And I went to try to get a dentist around here. There is not anywhere. I tried everything.
Well, you know where it's going to be a good place for you to get that done, Mom?
Where?
Mexico.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where she's
I did not go there anymore.
What's that?
Yeah.
I said we decided not to go there anymore.
But it's so true.
All right, we gotta get caught up. But listen, I do need to end this call. To be continued. I'm needing to go to Mexico right now, so I'm on a little bit of a time crunch. But yeah, to be continued. And I didn't know you weren't going, and that actually was inhibiting me from making some other decisions. So that just opened up some portals for me. So thank you. I'm probably going to go to Australia now that my folks aren't going to Mexico. So be continued. And this is my life, guys. Thank you for vibing with me. And if you don't want to vibe with me, then go vibe yourself.
Thanks.
But I know you guys all want to vibe with me, so never mind.
Yeah.
And if people don't want to vibe with you, then you can go tell them to go vibe themselves.
Amen, brother.
All right.
Woo!